Welcome to Make Sylacauga Healthy Again. I'm your host, Dr. Jonathan Douglas of Broadway Spinal Care. I would say if there's anything that Tara and I talk to patients about the most, it is moving more. People do not move enough, can't get them to move. We try very, very hard in our office to help people find solutions where they need us less and they are more empowered to do things themselves. And some people don't want that, surprisingly. That's not what they come in for. They want treatment and no work on the other side. But I can tell you that if you figure out as a family that you can get out and move together, then you stay closer together and you're all going to be healthier together. And we're going to talk to someone who has found that out. Stay tuned. So I have a special guest here with me. This is Tammy McDonald. She's become a good friend of mine. We met about 3 years ago when I went to Veritas private school here in town, and they needed help with the PE program, and so they asked me to come in and help with some agility and maybe some tennis and who knows what else. And so we met, and I don't know that, I remember quite distinctly actually, her husband Mark was at the meeting, the first meeting, and he did not seem very interested in what and Aubrey I think was there too, but not very interested in what I was talking about and a little skeptical that we could get this program going. And so 3 years later, we have some amazing athletes at that school, and we have amazing athletes who have come out of that school and are doing other things. But Aubrey is your daughter who has bloomed. She told me tennis was the only thing she'd ever do, never touch pickleball. And then she switched and she said, pickleball is the only thing I'll ever do, and I'll never touch tennis.
She's not gone back.
And she's not gone back. And then Mark sat and watched us for a long time. What made him get up?
Her. Her. Yeah,
Okay.
he wanted to be able to play with her, practice and all of that. And the way I work, I'm unfortunately not that option a lot of times. He did it strictly for her.
Okay.
So there he is.
And so Mark has been on the show. He does not seem like a person who would be a major pickleball lover.
I was so shocked.
But it doesn't, we talk a lot about pickleball because that's what I do, but it's not just pickleball. If you can find something to do as a family where you move.
Yes.
Because if you don't move, what do you do?
You hurt. Number one, you hurt. The less you move, I don't care if you have arthritis, I don't care if you have fibromyalgia, I don't care what you got going on. If you don't move, those things are going to be worse. That's just I have done it, so I know you're going to get worse. Yep. And when you have those things and you don't move, not only does your body hurt worse, but you get depression, you get anxiety, you get to where you begin not to care about anything that's going on around you. It's death. Yeah. If you don't move, it's death.
I was talking to a 90-year-old patient this week. She had a really interesting story. She grew up picking cotton. She was a cotton farmer. Mm-hmm. She had to pick 300 to 400 pounds of cotton a day.
That's a lot.
That was a day. Right? The whole family was in the fields doing that. And so we were talking about this whole Charlie Kirk situation and how people lose their way. Yep. And this kid lost his way somehow, of course. And she said that wouldn't happen if he was picking 300 pounds of cotton every day.
You don't have time.
You don't have time.
Exactly.
So being on the pickleball courts is kind of like that. I mean, we don't have time to sit and think about how anxious we are.
Exactly. But there's not.
There's not.
But the thing about the pickleball community is it's actually a community. But we have parents that are involved with their children. It's not just Mark. Mark is not the only one. No. We have Pat with Erilyn. Yeah. We have Suzanne with Lindley. We have Rain's mama and dad. I mean, they're there.
The parents are out there.
And there are some parents now that I don't know because I don't get to do because of my job, but the parents are there involved. They're not coming to watch their kids. They're not dropping them off. They're actually coming and playing with their kids.
And it's an unusual sport because parents can get out and do it. So you wouldn't get out on the football field and say, hey, let's hit each other or whatever. It's not going to happen.
No.
I agree.
And it really has opened Mark's eyes, I have always been one to move. I worked at I've been at UPS almost 20 years. Moving is not an option for me. Yeah. But getting him involved has always been a difficult thing. He wanted to go to the gym, lift weights, and that's it. No cardio. You know, he's not,
yeah,
no cardio.
Yeah, I know him.
And then we had Aubrey, and everything changed as she was doing. He's figured out, if I don't do cardio, I can't keep up with her. Mm-hmm. And so it started out small. It didn't start out with him living on the pickleball court 3 and 4 days a week. It didn't start that way. It started with small things. He would just go in outside and throw a football. He would do, because he's an older man with a daughter, so he had to figure out how to do the girl dad thing.
Yes.
But it was little things that he would start doing with her. But he made sure he was doing something with her, because he did understand staying in the house can't be an option, because he didn't want her on devices constantly. We grew up playing outside, and you better not come in the house.
Right.
That was not an option.
Right.
You get out, you stay out, and I understand times are different. I understand the world is different. I get all of that, but your kids need to be moving, because if they're not moving in everything is when they're young. If you do not start them when they're young, if you think it's hard for you to get started, we didn't have devices when I tried to get started, and I struggled getting started. I wasn't raised with, there was no cell phones and computers and internet. Sure. There was none of that stuff.
Sure.
I struggled getting the weight off that I had gained for many different reasons. And if I struggled saying, okay, I got to get up, I got to go do this, it's going to be much worse on our kids when they get older and decide that they want to do something.
And I think the other side of that is not just them sitting on devices and not moving, which is terrible, but they get on devices, again, like that shooter kid, and then they go down a rabbit hole, and they're being educated by something that you don't even know what it is, and it definitely isn't going to try to educate them in a good way. And so if they're interacting, the other part of it, I love that families are out there, but also your daughter goes and plays with other adults.
Yes. Definitely.
And she gets to interact with them, and then they give her feedback on her manners and such. And so
it's much more than just playing a game.
Sure.
It's so much more than that, because the age range is so vast, because it can be. Mm-hmm. It's so vast. One of the ladies that Aubrey loves to play with has got to be in her late 70s. Mm-hmm. I mean, just by the way she talks, and the things she says, I've figured out that she's got it, and Aubrey loves playing with her.
Right.
And so the vastness of the age difference, there's so much value there. Mm-hmm. But making it together, it does something to the family. My daughter goes in her room. She likes to be in her, she's 13, let's just face it. Sure. But she comes and tells me, Mom, on VR, this happened. Mm. We talk, because we spend time together.
Right.
I am around a lot of kids. Some don't have the upbringing that she has. Right. I have a vast variety of children that I love that come into my home.
Okay.
And I see the difference between a parent that is involved and a parent that just says, well, okay, you go do your thing, I'm going to go do mine.
Right. And people constantly tell me there's nothing to do for kids in town, which is not, it's nothing, I guess nothing passive, potentially, that you could just drop them off.
There you go.
But the key is that we're building some of the nicest pickleball courts in the world here in Sylacauga. They'll be done by Christmas, they're saying, or a little bit after. Mm-hmm. We're going to start having leagues. We're going to have family nights. We're going to have all of the above out at these courts. And so the opportunities are there. How do we find these families? How do we motivate them? Because I talk to people all the time. And some people, I mean, we're much bigger than we used to be. But there are so many families out there that need this. How can we find those people, do you think?
Everybody that we see, just say, give it a try. Don't shove it down their throat. Don't push it. Just say, look, all I'm asking is that you give it a try. Just one time. Just come out and just give it a try.
And they'll see the joy.
There you go. Because it exudes. You can't miss it. When you come watch us play, any of us, it doesn't matter who it is, you're going to hear laughter. you're gonna hear the teammates and do. I mean, there is so much in that atmosphere. You can't help but enjoy yourself some way.
I agree.
So my thing when I see people, and I use Mark all the time because I swear if you go back and watch his show with Mark McDonald, if he loves it, anybody can.
Yeah.
Just try it.
And you'll be accepted. I get
yes.
messages all the time. You know, I want to step on court. I'm kind of intimidated. Will people be nice to me if I come? We had a little boy that started 2 weeks ago, and
Yes.
he had never met any of those players. And I said, I told our players, I said, guys, go meet him, make him feel welcome. Oh my gosh, all those kids went over. It was the most beautiful thing. By the end of it, he was part of the group.
But it's adults too.
It's adults
it's
too.
Us as the parents that are there with our children. We welcome the adults,
Yeah.
especially me. If I'm there, everybody knows who I am. But it's because I take the time to introduce myself, to make sure that these adults understand you don't have to just sit here.
Absolutely. And so if there's anything we talk about on Make Sylacauga Healthy Again, it's community health
Yes.
and it's movement. And
Just give
we
it a try.
have to interact more with our kids.
Yes.
The community. I'm not talking about
Oh.
parents, but the community has to interact more.
Exactly.
Or we're going to have kids who go down the wrong path.
Yep.
We'll see you next time.